We are live now. Here we go.
Hey.
Hello.
Find it on my chat here. There we go. Perfect. Hello, everybody. Welcome to New Comic Book Day Book Club. We've already got 8 people in the chat. That's an awesome way to start.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So welcome to the chat here. It's me at Whitewell Comics, Alec, as usual, and we have a special guest. Here's Alex. Say hello.
Hello. Oh, that's right. When we're doing it this way, I can't see it. It always shows. It never shows me up in the big screen for some reason.
Yeah.
But
and
I'll just talk and assume that I'm up there.
And then Ryan's here with us as well. We have Ryan Sir Sargeant from the Geek Street podcast crew.
Good evening, everyone. It is I, Ryan, the fire guy, as I am sometimes known. Most of the time, just Ryan, though.
And we are breaking down for you guys the first issue of Grant Morrison's run on Green Lantern. And so hopefully everybody got out to their comic shop today and snagged that issue. There's a whole lot of variants. I think Ryan says he got a whole slew of them. He'll hopefully run them through for us here at some point. Alec, you want to kick us off?
Yeah. First, just want to say hi to everyone in the chat. Got a lot of great people so far. Can I run through everyone? Is that possible? Let's see. Tony Sanders, what's up, bro? Wingnut, Hulk Nuts, I got issues. TJ Watson, hello. Whitewell Comics, that's me. Comic Books NYC, nice to see you. Kachung. Who am I missing?
Already at 15.
Wow.
People I know.
Okay.
This is exciting.
Fern, DS Comics, Bob World. I don't think I've seen you in our chat before. Decaf Raven, we got some new people. Very cool. Hello and welcome. All right. So, yeah. I'll say this off the bat. The art was impressive. It was very detailed.
Yes.
But I think that at times it was detrimental because like the backgrounds and the foregrounds kind of just like became one for me sometimes.
I noticed a lot of that too in the earlier stuff. There's like that gladiator sequence.
Yeah, that especially. It was like you really had to look at the very carefully to
There's a lot going on in the background there.
Yeah, for sure. But
I didn't pick up until the second time.
I might be mistaken. I might have missed it, but I don't think there's a separate inker on that book. I think he does all of the inking himself because it just said art by.
Okay.
Which is impressive.
I didn't even notice that. So I'm just it just says artist Liam Sharp. That's it. Let's see, colorist, letterer, cover variant. Yeah, good spot, man. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. As far as the story goes, and everyone can kind of share if they felt this way, but I feel like it was a strange blend of like exposition, but not enough exposition for people who are really new to the character. So it was kind of like a weird line for me.
I imagine in some way it's kind of a hard jumping on point. It kind of actually reminded me of Ghost Spider that you guys broke down the first time in your first series on this, in that sense that it's almost too much for a new uninitiated reader to get into. But I've got a little bit of Green Lantern experience, so
yeah,
I didn't encounter that.
Comic Books NYC said once it got to Hal Jordan, it eased in a bit for me. I would agree with that. I think like the beginning, it was a strange way to start off in issue 1 for new readers.
Yeah, and I mean, I know that Ryan is really more knowledgeable on Green Lantern than I, in that he is kind of being a sensei to me in Green Lantern because he knew Jeff Johns' run really, really well. And then I am a complete moron when it comes to Green Lantern. I'm really just learning about him through those few trades that I've broken down on my channel, and then this. So, I mean, I knew the backstory. I've read, Jeff Johns had one book trade where he breaks down the backstory, so I knew that. But for me, the uninitiated, that first chunk when it's the guy and he's losing his finger and then the finger's running around like doing stuff. I was like, wait, I don't understand what's going on. I mean, I dig it. Like it's like a finger is doing the talking and the act. I dig it, but like I don't know what's going on at all.
Yeah.
It felt very Grant Morrison to me, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that, I mean, I don't even know that I can recall too many of Grant Morrison's pieces directly, and my brain is fried right now, but like, which ones did it remind you of? Sorry, I'm on the wrong camera here.
I got to thinking, like, I don't have that much exposure to him either. I've got All-Star Superman.
Yeah, that's the only one I could think of.
But what else did I read? I read Multiversity of him, actually, and that book is a trip. And it kind of reminded me of this in that weird kind of scatterbrained, like, who even thinks of this kind of stuff? Like vegan spider pirate. I had to write that down. I would never have thought of that, but it's genius.
You got Hulk nuts making finger by Green Lantern jokes.
Yeah. Starting off with a bang tonight, guys.
Hulk nuts is on fire every time, man.
We love you.
Do you know a lot of Grant Morrison stuff, White Whale, Alec?
Yeah, I read some of it, but I'm not like crazy for him like some people are. I know some people are like just bonkers, and he's obviously a big name, and that's why a lot of people were drawn to this book. But a lot of people in the chat are saying kind of like what I feel like, which is, and what we were just saying is like it's kind of a strange jumping on point for a lot of people, because like it wasn't really, it was kind of neither here nor there. And I don't know about you guys, but I hate exposition in books. Like if you have that much to explain, just give me a 1 page at the front of the book. Just say like, here's what you need to know. And then, because characters, like people don't talk that way.
Yeah, there's a lot of, sorry, John, you go.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead, Ryan.
I was going to say there's a lot of stuff that they could have gotten bogged down in. I'm not really current on Green Lantern so much. I just started reading some of the Rebirth trades in prep for this issue. But there's a lot of recent backstory that Jeff Johns and On have kind of added to the mythos. And this one does a pretty good job of kind of ignoring most of the grander goings on in that whole universe. So in that way, I think it kind of helps for the uninitiated, but it's still such a... Grant Morrison, I think, is probably the bigger obstacle here than Green Lantern.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, and I had a great in college. I had a writing professor, talk about exposition, and he used the example of Raiders of the Lost Ark, where they basically have this huge exposition dump right at the beginning of the movie, you know, and it's literally a professor standing in front of a chalkboard giving you all the information you're going to need in the whole movie, and then they can just blow off exposition for the next like 2 hours of the movie. Right? Huh. He busts out a textbook. He's drawing like, oh yeah, you shine this light through this thing on the ground. There's a map of the city. Like he basically tells you all the stuff you're gonna see in the next chunk of the movie, and then those scenes come up, and there's no speaking during those bits. You can just do it all with imagery, and the skill of a writer to be able to pull off a giant exposition dump and make it entertaining, and then useful later on. I don't know that this pulls that. That's a high bar, and I don't know that this particularly pulls it off. Although I will say, I dug the bits when they jumped to Hal, the bits where it's like almost out of an episode of the Hulk TV show. He's like wandering. He's like wandering.
Like, I didn't understand why he was even wandering down the street like that. That seemed kind of bit of a non sequitur to where he was before.
Right.
I just want to shout out Comic Books NYC talking about the Snickers ad again.
Oh man,
I did notice that as soon as I opened the book and thought that would be brought up again on the inside cover. So
I wasn't here last week, but that got me too. Hex-wise, right?
Yeah,
that Snickers ad right in the middle, and it got me.
Yeah. It seems like the inside cover is a better spot. Didn't trick people this time.
Right.
But yeah, especially the scene where she's like, oh, you were a pilot and now you're this. And like, he knows that. Why would she be saying that to him?
Yeah. She definitely, she fills in a lot of blanks and fulfills the useless woman role in grand form. And then is basically just forgotten about so that he can run off and be manly and do his thing.
Yeah. She is a prop.
Yeah, totally.
She in the there's something, my wife teaches women and gender studies right now, and she did a bit about movies and if characters could be replaced by a sexy lamp, and would that change the movie at all?
Try it out.
Ryan, were there anything that we seem to be bagging on it? Was there any bits that you felt like were really redeeming it?
I was just thinking about this female character we were talking about, and yeah, you got me thinking a lot about the intro to Hal Jordan. It feels like there's almost multiple introductions to his character. Like he's just out here staring up at the stars, and then she comes home with groceries and starts listing off every job he's ever had, and then it's him, walking down the road like a road trip movie.
Yeah.
And I don't really get how those connect, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I liked the
and then they just suddenly banged.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one
good.
shot of them banging all of a sudden, just randomly in the middle.
And then the slow pan over to the shooting stars. Subtle.
It's classy.
Yes. It's like the train going into the tunnel.
Start having a naked gun, right?
What's up, Brett Hess? Welcome. There were some pages of the art I really liked. It's the ones that were like especially designed with the like shapes and stuff. I thought were really interesting and a cool choice for especially like a book like this where it's more spacey and weird. But
that's what I saw. Comic Books NYC was saying he got his head around interpreting the artwork at the beginning, and then he could kind of get into it. And I think they kind of wanted it to be offsetting a little bit at the beginning, just to get you like you're just being thrown in, and then all of a sudden you jump to Hal and you get your woman in her exposition bits.
Yes.
Kachung says the shooting star was a crashing ship, right?
Yeah. Ooh, I think it was. It was those aliens escaping, right?
Yeah, it must have been.
I just read it as a sexual thing. But it's more about me than the comic itself. I think as far as the art goes, like he doesn't rank at near the top for me, but I mean of Green Lantern artists, I should clarify. But I love the way he draws like the creatures and the aliens and the landscapes. But something about his human figures doesn't sit right.
Brett Hess said the artwork was so good and I loved this book. So Brett Hess is on board.
There we go.
Nice.
I enjoyed it too, but I'm a little bit biased.
Well, and I'm new to the character in a lot of ways. These are literally the 4 comics I could find in my whole collection that have a Green Lantern somewhere on the cover. It's like the wall is barren for a reason. So
is that the first appearance? What was that? First appearance of Jessica Cruz's hand up there?
I got Jessica on this side, and then I got some New 52 Justice League on that side.
Hell yeah.
Anything that he draws, I'm probably going to buy, so I've got a lot of that.
It's a good run.
Dude, he nails it, yeah.
So, spoilers for the last page.
Yeah, we do probably have to get into that.
Yeah, that was trippy.
Am I the only one who wasn't sure who it was?
Absolutely. I would hope everyone was. I have no idea what's going on in the last page of this.
I mean, are we supposed to not know? Because I feel like I was supposed to know. Like I was looking at it, I'm like, am I supposed to know who that is?
Well, and when we first connected, I asked Ryan, do you even know what it says? The last page says Asteroid X, headquarters of Controller Moo's Black Stars. I was like,
that's a lot of names.
I just don't know. And Moo is spelled M-U. I don't know if that matters in any way, but I'm assuming it's pronounced Moo.
I got issue said it's an antimatter lantern, so it's just like
that. I got, yeah. They mentioned that.
But yeah, hey Bueller, what's up? Welcome.
Bueller.
Thanks for joining us. Is it anti-Hal Jordan?
Like a
Yeah, so I thought from he's got the same hair as Hal Jordan. So
yeah.
So I didn't know.
But he's dressed up in a yellow costume.
Right. So like you said, I'm not up to date with Green Lantern, so I don't know if it's something that people who have been reading it would get. And again, that is the sort of thing where it's like, is this enough for a jumping on point for new readers? Like if you make an issue number 1 I feel like it should be pretty, like there shouldn't be questions like that. Yeah.
I'm thinking this is probably going to be something that makes more sense once we get chapter 2, like in a Lost sense, almost like something's going to be super confusing until you tune in next week and figure out exactly what you just watched, and that's going to be.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of
included a Lost reference in our podcast. You had to have.
I'm glad you were there for that.
Or if it's truly like Lost, then it just won't. It'll be forgotten about, not resolved.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Well, and then
we're like, not.
I think they are hinting at this idea that maybe this is an alternative version of Hal, because even the like Guardians, when they first talk about there's going to be a betrayer in the Lanterns, they say he says we know who it's going to be.
Yeah. So then just go get that dude.
We already know who it will be. And I'm like, well, yeah, then do your darn job. Aren't you the police? Go get this guy.
They're the cranky chiefs behind the desk who yell at the police for not doing their job right.
Yeah, so Hal gets to come into their office and scream at them, right?
Usually how it goes, yeah. For how much of a cop series Green Lantern tends to be, it's weird how much I like it, because I don't really respond much to cop shows or cop movies. Green Lantern, I don't know, something different.
Yeah, and I thought it was a little convenient how they were just like, oh, well, we didn't need you until we need you, and now we need you.
Usually and I think that there is that tendency with issue ones. At least I feel like issue ones, they want to definitely throw a lot of exposition at you, and then they always want to throw some weird cliffhanger at the end just to get you to come back for issue 2, which I feel like I've noticed that in all 3 of the ones that we've done up to now. There's a little bit of that like exposition dump, and then, hey, by the way, there's a twist, and you're gonna have to come back next week to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, and I'm fine with the twist like at the end of a book to leave you hanging. I think that's like kind of the norm now almost with a lot of books. But like it wasn't it was an oh wow moment because like they're cutting the dude's heart out, but at the same time it's like, again, was I supposed to know who that is? I don't know.
It said, I Got Issues says all this stuff ties so heavily to the source wall and the events of Dark Knight's Metal, which I have not read completely, Dark Knight's Metal. So that looks like, I guess, maybe there's your backstory that you might need is some of that Dark Knight's Metal stuff.
Yeah, and Comic Books NYC says Cosmic Cop is what I liked about it. And I would agree. Like, I wish that they had focused more on that because that part of the book, like I found myself enjoying a lot more than like especially the beginning, like the first 2 pages, I was like, oh, I'm not into this. Like it didn't grab me, but obviously Hal brings you back in.
I know they specifically
go ahead, Brian.
I was going to say, I know they've specifically kind of marketed this in a way as being a kind of return to the space cop, episode of the week kind of element of storytelling, as opposed to the giant, crazy, universe-ending nonsense that was happening before. Nonsense is the wrong word to use, but
it didn't end up feeling that way. It didn't feel like an episode of the week. It felt like like, oh, this is building to something bigger.
I agree. That's why this it didn't feel 100% like a one and done kind of issue, which might not have been. I don't know how well that'd work as a starting issue, but it doesn't have that element in here.
Well, and as far as the Hal Jordan, like this page got me in the feel. I was like, that's awesome. Like I was like, oh, when he finally gets to like light it up.
Anytime they say the pledge, it's like always is awesome.
Right. Well, and the implication that he's kind of on the down and outs. He can't even fight these bad guys with the ring. He's got to do it with his fists. Like
right, because he doesn't have a lantern to charge his ring.
I dig all that stuff. Like, and then I feel the same way. Once it got to him, although I digged the weird guy with the finger running around doing. It just made me giggle. I was like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm still entertained by it. Like this guy's finger is doing the work, but okay.
Yeah, and the Green Lantern, that's a virus. That was kind of funny and weird.
Yeah. They've got a virus in the Sinestro Corps that I'm a little bit familiar with because John and I are in the Sinestro Corps war during Jeff Johns' run, and one of the members of the Sinestro Corps is a virus that kind of operates in the same way, but a little more deadly.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. It's good to know there's a green one too.
All right, so I'm assuming we all kind of know where we sit on. Is it a pull list book or not? So, Alec, you want to get started on that one?
I'm certainly curious as to see what happens, but if I'm being honest, I'm probably not going to pick up issue 2.
Ryan?
It's hard I'm trying to approach this from an unbiased perspective. I had initially decided not to get this book in the first place until we were going to break this down, actually. I wasn't officially on board, but after reading this, I think I'm good. I'm at least going to give it like one arc. I'll give it a solid chance. That's where I'm going with it.
If every issue is $5 too, that's a lot to ask for.
Enough, for sure.
I would assume that would just be an issue 1 thing. I would be shocked if because this felt big, like it felt a little larger than the average issue, but maybe I'm just not calculating it right. Yeah, I probably am going to be a no as well. I don't know that I'm going to guarantee that I would pick up the second one. I mean, I do want to know what this other Hal Jordan thing is, and that the cliffhanger definitely got me. So I guess it will depend on the quality of the variant, but I would probably say a pass for me.
I would suggest reading other Green Lantern, John.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to go through Sinestro Corps War and then right into, what was it, Blackest Night. So that's about where I am. I'm in that phase of Jeff Johns.
Sinestro Corps was great. The chat is almost unilaterally for issue 2. Yeah, everyone seems on board. I got issues even said he will give it to issue 3 or 4.
Okay, good. Sorry, Charlie had a cameo in there for a second.
Matina cover for issue 2.
Who is there?
That's what Brett Hess just said.
Then maybe I'm having to pick up issue 2 now. So there you go. So our debate topic for tonight, we wanted something Green Lantern-esque. And Ryan, do you want to kick us off with our debate topic?
If you were selected, if a Green Lantern ring just descended right in front of you and said, "You're chosen, you're the new Green Lantern," what do you do? What do you do first?
I thought this was a hysterical idea because it's a completely open debate topic. It has nothing to do with comic understanding. It has nothing to do with, it just has to do with your own personality, right? What are you going to do? You get the ring. What do you do? And for me, I think it would definitely bring out the lazy person in me. I don't know that I would get nearly as much done. I would be so, it's kind of like the invention of the remote control.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't have to get up off the couch and click the little buttons on the screen anymore. You know, now it's a whole other, I can ask Alexa to change the channels for me. Like the second I get that Green Lantern ring, the first thing I'm going to do is get lazy, is I guess the simple answer for me.
We got some great answers in the comments. First, I just want to shout out Bueller for saying Emerald Dawn for a recommendation for Green Lantern. Awesome. Awesome
Nice. I'll add that to my list, Bueller. Thank you.
I got issues said strippers and cocaine. Comic Books NYC. Comic Books NYC said have a bagel. Tony said take it and run with it. Comics with Bueller said see what I can get for it at the pawn shop and use that money to buy comics. Hulk Nuts wants to smash his ex's house. Fern making an Infinity Gauntlet. That's choice. Wingnut would 100% abuse power.
Sounds like everybody's abusing the power.
These are great.
Yeah,
I was gonna say fly. That was my answer.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah,
I want to know if it comes with abs. If it comes with abs, that might change. Yeah, I'll be down with the strippers thing. I'll be a stripper, right?
Just green strippers.
I think for me, this is my go-to answer for most things is to make a dinosaur.
Oh,
that'd be cool too. Terrifying, but that'd be cool.
Yeah, just like
life size and everything.
Stomp down the street with it and just have a dinosaur friend. That's my dream.
With like a saddle, like you could ride it.
You know, I would ask its permission. I don't want to take advantage of my dinosaur pal, but like, yeah, if you'd let me ride it, that'd be choice.
You don't want to give your dinosaur construct too much self-awareness, though.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a slippery slope.
But I can always will it out of existence again.
Exactly. The possibilities are literally endless.
What kind of dinosaur? A T-Rex, obviously. I showed off a tattoo last week. I'll show off another one this week. I have a dinosaur tattoo as well.
There you go.
Nicely done. Well, then Batman would at least appreciate it, right? He's got the giant T-Rex in his cave there.
I'd make a bigger penny than the one Batman has.
Rub it in his face. Or a cooler Batmobile.
Hulknuts is saying a Velociraptor would be better. I'd have them make them one big-ass ball gloves. Wingnuts is saying. I'd fly with a gauntlet. Yeah, flying is a good one. I didn't even think of that. Obviously, that would be the sweet one, Ryan. Just to be able to fly.
Flying, but like sitting on a couch. Somehow combining both of them. Great. With pizza and strippers. all of these. We're coalescing something here. This is good.
A lot of people said the answer I should have said. I really missed this one. Devil dinosaur. What type of dinosaur I'd make?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
well played, Fran.
I do have Devil Dinosaur #1. I love that book.
I got to get my girls into that. Is it the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur? The later ones for the kids.
Yeah,
I heard those were good.
I tried
for kids.
Wasn't bad. For kids, sure.
Yeah, I've not read any of them, but I know they definitely have a following with people who really like them. Hey, Thomas Churchill, what's up? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we got 23.
Brian McDonald.
That's awesome.
Good amount.
Well, we're gonna wind it down here, folks. It's been a 30-minute limit is what we try to keep ourselves to. We can go a little bit long. We're going to take a second here in a bit just to say what's upcoming on our channels, but I'm going to mention real quickly that next week we're back on Whitewell, his channel. So stick over to YouTube or follow us on Instagram and you'll see the little advertisements we'll be posting. So we'll be on his channel. We're going to, of course, be reading Uncanny X-Men #1 because that's the one everybody's going to want to read and talk about. So we'll be breaking that one down. Our guest, can we announce our guest, Alec? Is that okay?
I think so. I think it's official.
Do it.
Mr. Tony Sanders, I've already hit 300 and I'm still on my 250 subscriber contest. It's going to be our guest star. He's probably going to have 500 subscribers by the time we roll around.
At this rate, for sure.
Yeah. He's flying.
We'll
have Tony on the show next week to break down on Uncanny X-Men.
I will caution people. It has 27 covers. I heard it has 30, but it is also 72 pages and $7.99. So get ready, everyone.
Break the piggy banks.
Yeah, we're stressing your wallets.
30 covers.
30. Yeah, and those are just like. Those are non-retailer specific covers. Those are 30 diamond orderable covers.
20 of them have Wolverine? Is Wolverine involved in this in any way? I don't know anything. I didn't even know this book was coming out, to be fair.
Wolverine's back. They just finished the Return of Wolverine thing, right?
So out of Marvel.
Yeah.
And I think J. Scott Campbell's probably got 4 or 5 on his website. He's got
6. Probably. I did pre-order 2 of them because.
Does that count as part of the 30?
No, those are in addition to.
Geez.
So there may be like thousands more.
Well, Alec, do you want to mention anything you got upcoming on your channel here?
Yeah. So right now I have going on my community project, which John has sent me a video for, but I just want to remind people of that to send me your videos. I find looks like the best way is to Dropbox it and just share it with whitewhalecomics@gmail.com. If I get a few people to send me some stuff, I'm going to try to put together something pretty cool. And I don't know if I'm supposed to announce this ahead of time, but Reggie Simmons and I partnered up and we're each releasing a video tomorrow that kind of correspond to each other. So I won't say more than that, but
cool. Are you going to have sleeves or no sleeves?
I did have sleeves. I left the tank top. I can't pull that look off like Reggie
can. No one can.
Yeah, few can. And if someone or anyone didn't see my haul from today, I just wanted to show this off because I'm really excited about it.
Man, now you're talking. Is that considered first Silver Age, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Man,
and cool. It's in good shape. I got it at a surprisingly good price, so I couldn't resist it. But
the colors look gorgeous.
Yeah, it's real nice. I think with a pressing, this would be real sharp book. But anyway, last thing I want to give a shout out to is my buddies have a podcast called First Issue Club. I mentioned it in our first episode, but we're trying to work out kind of a partnership where they're going to help promote us. We're going to promote them. But like everything I talk about on my channel, I never mention something that I don't have full faith in and full, like I would never recommend something that I didn't like. Even if it was something a friend of mine did, I would tell them it was a turd pile. But it's a really fun podcast. They review first issues much like we do, which is why we are trying to work something out. And but it's really humorous, really great. And check it out, First Issue Club.
Nice. Well, and you dropped that awesome Liefeld video not that long ago, which is great. I think it might be my favorite, even though I'm not as big a Liefeld fan as I was in the 90s. It might be my favorite video of the art series you've done.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, my Mignola one is definitely the most popular so far. It's got over 350 views, which is crazy to me. Like, but yeah, I'm planning some more. I might do Michael Turner next. I haven't decided.
And then Ryan, most of you probably follow Ryan through Instagram, Sir Sargeant, but you could also get through, he's got a channel on YouTube where he's been doing hour by hour. He's been doing Spider-Man, the video game break. And I've joined for a few of the live sessions, but Ryan, how many more hours you got on that bad boy?
I don't even know. I haven't touched that game in like 2 weeks because Red Dead Redemption 2 happened. And also most of my spare time was going to this whole thing, but I've been pretending to be a cowboy for like 2 weeks now, and it's
very surprisingly, when Red Dead 2 came out, quite a bit of people started calling out from work. So some sort of bug is going around.
It's flu season. That's why. No other reason at all.
The cowboy flu.
But no, I've debated streaming that game, but I think I'm just gonna keep it to comic book stuff, at least for now. But yeah, I'm slowly working my way through the Spider-Man game on that channel. Then, of course, I'm doing Comic Tom stuff. That happens all the time. We got some, I think, a Wizard video. I think the first in the Wizard magazine breakdowns is coming out tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. But
yeah,
very well could be.
If anyone somehow doesn't know about Comic Tom by now, definitely sub him up. Comic Tom 101.
Correct.
Yeah, we want to make sure more people are in those super chats. We're going to get it so Ryan can quit his day job, or I should say night job, and do comics full time. But
that's the dream.
His breakdown on Hellblazer just finished, the Constantine 5 issues with Aaron and Tom, and that was great. I really, really loved it. In fact, I'd never read Constantine at all before that, and I absolutely loved it. In fact, I want to go out and snag a few of the issues from the story because it was that entertaining.
It didn't quite convert me to be a Constantine fan, but I do need to read more. I do need to read more of him. I'm glad I read it. It's on the bucket list.
As for me, I shot the video of Kate and I breaking down Batman Year One. It's long. It was like 30 minutes of her and I just messing around. So I don't know if I can edit into anything.
Three-parter?
Yeah. So I'm trying to shrink it to a manageable size, but that should be posted soon. And then, of course, Saturday Morning Comics. And then I've got a few. I won a prize through Reggie's trivia night, which I've only watched 2 nights of his trivia contest, and I've won both times. I'm just going to say, watch out.
I'm 2 for 3. I blew it this last time because I was on my phone, so I couldn't type fast enough.
I missed the second one, so I was at the first and the third. But so I got that coming, and a couple other things that I'm going to be unboxing here at some point. So that's all that I got upcoming on my channel. Any last thoughts anybody wants to share?
No, I'm good. Pop.comics, missed most of the show. Catch it on the rewind. Yeah, for sure. Welcome anyway. Hey, Reggie Simmons, we were just talking about you, bro.
Yeah, Reggie got mentioned a bunch, even though we're wearing sleeves, Reggie, even if they're short.
Well,
and Ryan has to, because that studio is cold. He's in a garage in Washington. That's cold.
There's a reason I'm all hunched over like this. It's so cold in here.
And I want to say, like, big thanks to Ryan. Like, when I first started doing comics on Instagram, Ryan, and I was watching Tom, I sent Ryan a joke about his Lost T-shirt, and we've been, you know, Instagram chatters like for months now, and it's the first time I've ever actually talked to him in person.
Very true.
Like, I feel like I'm meeting my brother for the first time or something.
Hello.
so
that's cute.
Big thanks for stealing Tom's studio away from him for a little bit and braving the cold for us. So much appreciated.
They're beating down the doors now to come in here and record some more stuff.
A lot of people referencing that this is like Cheers in this chat, which is very nice. Being from the Boston area, Boston area, I've gone to Cheers a few times. It's not that great.
But I do know it's like when Bueller comes in, everybody screams Bueller, right?
Yeah,
hey!
Exactly.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Don't forget, please hit that like button. I only see 2 likes so far, so I'm gonna hit the like button because I'm watching it myself. So hit the like button.
Yeah, one of those likes was me.
Right now, White Whale and I are competing for subscribers.
Oh yeah,
so
I think we're both at 215 right now.
It's bad. I know the quality of my video with the echo chamber is not like he's got some skills, but we got to stay even. Don't let me fall behind, folks. And we're trying to catch Tony Sanders for next week.
Yeah,
so
he's running away with it.
So hit the like, hit the subscribe, and then leave a comment and tell us what you're picking up if you have something we should be looking at in the coming weeks. So stay tuned. Tony Sanders with us next week on White Whale's channel. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.